Hello, people. This is another wonderful morning that we have been given by God to look at ourselves and figure out what is the way forward, because our life has been characterized by a lot. Some of us, you look at your life and you define it by the challenges you've faced. Some of us, the successes that have been able to follow you are so much that you forget that they are people who are struggling, and so that define your life, or that defines how you live or how you perceive life. Some of us, you went to school and you were blessed enough to attain the highest level of education, and you are happy, and you forget there are those people who never went to school. There are those people who have had difficulties and challenges, and they were plunged into mediocre life and they could not amount to anything. And so probably because of that, they harbor a lot of resentment, and they are so bitter with themselves, with life, and with everything in their life. So there are so many things that characterize our lives, and at the end of the day, these things do play a significant role in how we interact and how we behave around people. And so I want to put it to you today that in any place, in any social gathering, in any place you interact with people, always be considerate. Be a person who is able to reflect and look at and assess the situation. And as you interact with people, always be quick to listen to them than to draw conclusion about them. Be quick to listen and to understand and to find ways and means to gather much information from them than you can give. Because to me, life is the interactions that we have, the healthy interaction that we have. You know, some people you try to befriend them and you try to find out about their life, but them, they have already made their decision. So they've already categorized you to a certain brand. They've already branded you a name. They've already given you a name. They've already, segregated you and placed you somewhere in their definition in their life, and so you belong there. So already that blocks them from probably drawing from you or understanding from you what they should have gotten, what they should have gained from you. And these are some of the mistakes that we as people do always in life. We have our life, we have this kind of rigid mindset that we perceive people differently. We perceive people from what we see from them in rather than what they can offer. We define people by what they portray in terms of how they are dressed, how they walk around. But that is not very critical in life. Why am I saying it is not very critical? Because you cannot define a man or a person by one-time interaction, though they say a first impression last. But to me, I've come to realize this whole idea, this whole kind of mindset that we were fed in, that first impressions last. I know there is a first impression, but a person is not the same today and yesterday they might be weak, they might have fallen short of something. But if there are people who, or if he or she is a person who value their life, and they are consistently figuring out how life should be, or how their life should be, they will always put in some effort to change the way their life is rolling. So I want to submit it to you that this life has got a fair share of challenges. Everybody has got their challenges. You have your challenges, I have my challenges. So at the end of the day, we are in some form of a quagmire. We are always battling thoughts, ideas, ideals. We are always in this arena where we have schools of thoughts, we have ideologies and philosophies, and we are trying to make sense of them. And so we need to have some kind of open-mindedness to be able to achieve the uttermost kind of life we need to have. So I want to submit it to you that life has got fair share of challenges. And through these challenges, we are able to learn a lesson or two. And through these challenges, we are able to grow. So I'm going to point out a few points here, probably 3, that I feel it is important to point them out at this moment in time. So one of them is that we need to embrace change and adaptability. Most of the time, the people who we meet around, or the people I interacted with, I've come to realize they have a certain mindset. They are so rigid. Then anything you tell them, anything you try to discuss with them, because they've already have some kind of stand, they've already formed their perception, it is difficult for them to accept or even to relate and understand what you are sharing with them. But as somebody who wants to grow and who wants to advance in life, we should embrace change and adaptability. So this is a very important lesson. We should embrace change and adaptability. So life is a stream of changes, and the ability to adapt is key to growth and success. So like we know how the river gracefully flows around obstacles, so we must also adjust our course of life so that we behave like that. So we need to be constantly adjusting, tweaking our life here and there, so that we are able to maneuver through life. So throughout life we've been able to face challenges and circumstances, and they've been the kind of adversaries that have been able to shape how we reason and how we think and how we perceive life and how we put everything into context. So it is important that we learn that in life there are bound to be challenges, and these challenges we need to deal with them, and therefore we need to embrace change, and we also need to be able to adapt and to be able to change, to be able to flow in life and be able to gain much from what we've already gathered with or in our lives. Another very important thing that we must know is that we need to embrace failures as stepping stone to success. There's so much that we can be able to learn from the failures that we have attracted or we've gone through. There are so many failures that we have been able to direct into our life because we did not learn enough, or we did not take time to understand the situations that we life. We also need to know that failure is not the end, it's just part of the journey. Because when you stumble and fall, you rise up with vigor and with sound mind and with open mind to face the future. We need to be resilient. We need to always look for opportunities within those failures, and because these failures that we always face, they have a very important connection with our destiny. They have a special connection with our destiny, because our destiny is the journey, and there is always a starting point, and this starting point is where we are starting in terms of the ideals, the knowledge, and the capacity that we've built over time. So these are the elements, these are the things that are able to push us to that future that we want, to that destination that we are always looking forward to. Another tenet that is very important to have in mind or to inculcate in our lives going forward is cherishing the relationship, and we also need to practice what we call gratitude. We should always be grateful. You see, not every relationship you will get to will be successful. Now here I'm talking about a relationship in general. It is important we value relationship, and also not everybody who wants to be your friend want to gain something from you. Most of the time I've tried to interact with people from different walks of life, from different age group, and because I believe it's because of how the society has been treating them, how life has been over time. So people tend to be defensive, and it is their right, but always we need to have it in us that we are open-minded and we are able to move into this relationship with clear head and without bringing in some kind of old experience that made us, went astray, block the kind of the relationship that you are trying to have. So not everybody who befriends you want to gain something from you. Not everybody who befriends you want to lead you astray. So we can always assess this by the way we interact. We can be able to assess this by how we interact with people and get to know what they are thinking, get to know their perspective of life. So we need to cherish each and every relationship we have, right? We should not be the type who are always judging people by the moment you start interacting with them. You start saying, oh, this guy, this is what he needs from me. No, it's not always that, because get to know that everybody who comes into your life, there is a reason, and they will be there for a season, and they will be there for a purpose. So it is upon the two of you to know what is this purpose, and if it is something valid, something logical, something that is not against the norms and the values of the society, something that is able to propel you to the next level of your life. Because from this relationship you are going to find mentors, you're going to find friends, you are going to find people who are able to help you grow, people who are able to always open your mind and show you something that maybe by yourself you couldn't have been able to see that. So it is important that we value and cherish this relationship. They are very important, and they play a significant role in our lives. So personally, I want to encourage you as a person to always look at yourself and look at the relationship you have. Assess the relationship. If a certain kind of relationship is not worth being in it, then there's no point of investing in that. But we need to have a clear conscience, a clear mind. We need to think beyond face value, because in life is not always about what you can get. And this is what I always tell people. It's not always about what you can get, right? It is all about what you can give. You see, when you help others get what they want in life, therefore you will have achieved a lot in life. It's always about helping other people. And so there's some people, you will friend them, probably you want to help them, but they don't see that. They only see what you want from them. They don't see what you're trying to do for them. So at the end of the day, the whole idea of that friendship end up blowing in proportion, and people end up not learning or even not gaining what was designed for them to gain. But at the end of the day, every relationship is a learning process. Every relationship is about looking at the bigger picture. What in this relationship is bringing benefit to my future? And we need to have a clear mind and a clear conscience when moving into any form of relationship. So it is important we have this in mind. So thank you for your time. So keep on learning. So I'm here to learn with you. So see you next time. Stay blessed.